everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Cardinals going up against the Falcons. So let's get over to the ATL, Atlanta. Standing by our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. They come out here in the eye. And he motions the wide receiver. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And here's a look at the starting offense. To throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. For the first time with Devontae Freeman. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here that's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
All right, now, look at 56. Here we go now. 56. All right, now, look at 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. That is caught at the 7. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
All right, here we go.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Vic Beasley's a very talented outside linebacker whose #1 task, rush the passer. But he has the athletic ability to drop into coverage.
Shift together here from the D-line. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Devontae Freeman from 6 yards away. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That too.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Hurry up, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Look at 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Detroit! Set! Green, 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Third down now following the run.
Now let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So out now come the Cardinals. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On play action, they'll throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Again, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9, all right, now, lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They come out here in the eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you? Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down.
Set, green. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
He'll drop to throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll come out in the pistol. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is Moncrief with a catch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Detroit! Over! Watch it now, Barney!
On play action, they'll throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you, so make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident. And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Detroit! Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. 3rd down and 1.
Detroit! Over!
They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Back in. Here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. If it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. And the wideout in motion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Set. Green. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Time here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. This is taken at the 18. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called, not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well.
Go to something else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short. 2nd down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. Blue line.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch.
And Freeman lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Detroit! Let's go! Green 39! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Leopard!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Watch him now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. Second down following the incompletion.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And now a first down following that long gain.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
319! 319!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Back to throw here. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Second down now after the pass completion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Set, blue, landed. No. Check, Patriot. Over.
Back to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Their dangerous wide receiver. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. So out come the Falcons now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
Go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That would go. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And they'll try to squeeze in 1 more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Detroit! Now let's go! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Shift together here from the D-line.
Over! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 59 Philly. Here we go. Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Over. Watch it now, Barney. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He's back to throw, and he fires one incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one.
Let's go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 14 yards there on the pickup. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they got 29 yards there. And the Cardinals are going to have it now, first and goal. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.